Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. And I've got to say here today, returning to the channel following a Clásico defeat, rather surprisingly, the mood is good. The feeling is very, very positive. And look, we're not celebrating a defeat. We never want to lose El Clásico. But I think for all of us Barcelona fans, sitting back yesterday, watching that play out in the way that it did, the performance that we saw from our team, that's what we can get behind. And that is why today we're going to be talking a lot more about the performance we saw, about the reaction from the media to that display. And we're basically going to be looking ahead to what I feel is a very, very exciting future. The return of Ansu Fati, the return there of Pedri as well. And we're also going to be talking too about Ferran Torres' debut yesterday. And importantly as well, how he's going to fit in to what Xavi Hernandez is doing at Barça. It is all coming your way. We feel good. So let's get to it. Because as you can see right here, guys, when it comes to the media reaction following Barca's defeat to Real yesterday, like I say, the general feeling, especially there within the Catalan media, it was very, very positive. Sport coming out actually with a headline that says Barca have returned. An MD there say they fall, but with honour. And that was the key, I feel. Yes, we lost. Yes, we just missed out in the end. It could have gone either way this game, but we really played with heart, with pride for the shirts, and we can see finally now the direction in which we are heading. But I think we surprised people. I think yesterday actually, especially when you're looking at sort of the mainstream media, I had commentators on the TV station where I was watching Barca and they couldn't believe what they were seeing from us. They were so surprised that Barca were able to match Real Madrid, were able there to score twice against Real, to come back twice in a game. They couldn't believe this Barca team because I gather a lot of the media don't watch us every week. They don't see us every week in La Liga. People look there at our league position. They look at our financial situation that's been so well documented. Many people like to sort of look down on Barca right now. But if you look closer, if you watch the games each week, if you're following the progress like all of us do, yesterday for us, it wasn't that big of a shock because we know when we play at our best, when we have a full squad available, we have the tools to go toe-to-toe with Real Madrid. And the key now is maintaining that standard, making sure that we show that level of quality week in, week out. And it's about now finding that consistency because when we're at our best, we can mix it with the best of them. Now, Xavi, after last night's performance, came out after the game. He said, except for the first maybe 20, 25 minutes of the game, he said, I thought we controlled it against Real Madrid. A very good Real Madrid team. He said, we do have now some bad feelings. He said, because it's a pity we could have won this. But he said, in the end of it all, we got good feelings because of the way that we played and how we competed. He said, this is the way. And I thought it was really important too that at the final whistle, actually, there was an embrace on the touchline, and it was between the president, Joan Laporta, and Xavi himself. And I thought that was really, really important there. Laporta sort of went over to Xavi. I think he looked at him and maybe Xavi was a bit frustrated, a bit disappointed about the fact that we hadn't won. And Laporta put his arm around him there, embraced him in a hug. And I thought that was a real show of trust because, yes, we lost. Yes, we know, of course, we don't want to be losing Clásicos, but I think Laporta, like all of us fans here, he'll be seeing that progress. He 100% here has backing of his man, Xavi Hernandez. And I thought it was also really, really nice that actually the club broadcasted Laporta's speech because he went back in there into the dressing room. Xavi was watching on, the players were all sat down there, and Laporta actually gave a fantastic speech to the players because what he said was very similar to Xavi. This is the way. And I think for these young players especially, after putting in a performance like that last night, the way they were able to capture all of our imaginations but end up losing, I think it was so important there for the likes of Xavi and then Laporta to actually say to these young guys, you're on the right path. Don't get your head down now. Don't be despondent about the fact that you haven't quite won because you're doing well. This is the road. This is the path. This is the direction that we need to be on. And that is certainly the message right now coming from Xavi, coming from the very top there, from Joan Laporta, and all of us fans. We're on this journey together. And I just think it's so exciting, guys. I think when you actually sit down and you reflect on what we saw yesterday, not only was it the quality that Barca showed, but it was also the fact that, yeah, you know what? We haven't even got started yet. This was literally the very beginning. You had somebody there like Ronald Araujo. He had surgery on his hand, literally days ago. He was in hospital. He had an operation there. He had to play yesterday with protective gear. But what a game he had in defence. What an absolute magical player we had there at the back, holding things together. An absolute dominator. You had Frenkie de Jong in midfield who started. Again, he was out injured just days ago. First game back, he probably rushed back to play this game, but he was there and he was in that midfield playing for Xavi. You had Pedri who came back from injury, his first appearance in 4 months. And how good was he? How good was that young man? I said before he came back that I think many people have almost forgotten about Pedri, especially people outside of Barca. They've forgotten what an immense talent this young man is. And he came on, and it was like he'd never left. He was absolutely fantastic, given the fact that he has been out for a long, long time. And it's only the beginning again for him in a Barca shirt. And of course, Ansu Fati. And what can you say about this man? Every single time that he's out, that he has a setback, that he's got to come back from, he comes on. And again, it's like he never left. He will always find a way of having defining moments in games, getting in the right place at the right time. Really, really fine goal that he scored, and he was oh so close. I keep replaying over and over in my mind that bicycle kick at the very end of extra time. It was right there, and you thought, yes, come on, that would raise the roof. And it was so close from Ansu Fati. But again, with him, there is so much more still to come. And with all of these young players, it's not just about the ones that came back. You think about Xavi, you think about Nico in midfield. Players there who've got years ahead of them. They're only just starting to grow now. They're only starting to gain some experience. They have an unbelievably high ceiling. And we truly do have an abundance of these exciting young players that now, in this team, in this environment, playing every week and training every week under Xavi, with that kind of leadership above you, real harmony at the club, and that family feel, it's the perfect place. It is the absolute perfect place right now to develop your game, to get the best out of the talent that you have, and that is why this is so exciting, because yes, what we saw yesterday was fantastic, was really, really promising, but we can do better. We can go much, much further. And this is only the start, I assure you, of the Barcelona that we are going to come to see in the years to come. And I'm sure a very, very big part of that is going to be Ferran Torres. And I want to remind you guys that he also yesterday playing his first game in 3 months too, because of course he had an injury that he's only just come back from. And let's not forget, guys, he's had one training session with the Barcelona team. I was surprised yesterday that he was in the starting lineup. And yeah, you know, he didn't get the ball much. He wasn't really involved as much as he would have liked. And of course, there is so much more to come from him. And I know there's going to be scrutiny. I know there's going to be people there with a microscope over every performance because, of course, the price we paid to bring him in, he knows that. He understands that. I'm sure he does. But he'll come good. I can assure you now, guys, even yesterday, there were signs of what he can do. There were runs that he was making, intelligent things that he was doing. There was quite a few times there where he got in behind. Maybe he wasn't picked out. The ball didn't always reach him, but he was making some very, very clever runs. There was one cross that came in that he was arriving perfectly timed at the back post, and actually Luke de Jong just took it away from him, didn't actually realise that Ferran was there. And of course, all of our players, they've got to get to know Ferran, they've got to understand those runs, they've got to be able to pick him out and include him in the game. And yesterday, I think we were a lot more predominantly down our left side anyway. But believe me, Ferran has so much to give in this Barcelona shirt. Yesterday, again, was only the beginning, and that is the exciting part here. We've got young, talented players with huge ceilings, a coach that is leading us in the right direction, that understands Barca, that is passing on that wisdom and a real understanding of the way we should be playing. Turning things around, we know, was never going to be an overnight task. But what we also have at the very head of all of this is a strong president too. He has faith now in his man Xavi. There is a real unity within the club and a real direction that we can all follow together. And Barca's display against Real Madrid, that was only a sign, only a glimpse of what's to come. So please, guys, do let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know again, what are you feeling after looking at that display, looking back maybe on some of the highlights, some of the goals from yesterday? What can you take away from that Clásico performance? And of course, looking now ahead, looking to our games to come when we're going to have more and more time with these players in training sessions, in recovery. They're going to be getting fitter, they're going to be getting sharper, and we are going to have our players and our really key men back in our team again. It's exciting stuff, and I cannot wait for all of us now to experience the Barca games to come, and hopefully, like I say, we kick on now from here. Let me know those thoughts down below. I will, of course, see you soon with plenty more videos to come. You can count on that. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.